Hey guys, we just got to the trailhead. We got our snowshoes on, our packs on, and we are ready to go. I'm Tayson, I'm the founder here at Outdoor Vitals. Let's just say a month ago that we had a very different plan for how this trip was going to go. But with the insane amount of snow dumped on the mountain the day before we left for the trip, and during our hike, it was clear that Brigham and I would not be able to summit Mount Delano. What the heck, little dude? You cannot live on my truck, bro. So we decided to make the best of it and enjoy a snowshoeing, gear testing, hot tent trip instead, with a small hope that the weather would clear enough for us to summit the peak. So here's our trip. No drama, no frills, just really cold temperatures. In fact, some of the coldest temperatures I've ever been in, lots of snow, and some good times. Oh, this is easy back here.
Hard to see the contour of it.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh. Watch Brigham's feet here. It looks more like he's walking in sand than snow with how much that just falls around his feet. This is gonna be going to be an absolute grind to cover miles in this kind of powder. All right, we are an hour in and we are just about to a mile, Brigham.
Oh,
sweet. Pace is slow. We did have to take about a 10-minute break to search for my glasses. They fell off my head and while I was setting something up, and we dug and finally found them, which will be good tomorrow when the sun's out a lot more. I hopefully won't get a headache, but really pretty. This is definitely what we were hoping for, is the sun to come out for a minute, give us some of these views. It's funny because we haven't even been averaging a mile an hour, but my heart rate is at the same level of when I jog about 6 miles an hour on a treadmill. So you can see the exertion even just to try to click off a mile an hour.
The blue sky up there. Yeah.
All right, we're gonna stop for a little break, get some food. We are just under 2 miles. We're getting up to our knees in a lot of points at the very tops of our gaiters. If it was any more, I don't think this would really be fun or doable. I can tell I'm a little behind on hydration, but I don't know if I'm behind on hydration or if I'm just, you know, getting sensitive to crampy feelings in muscles.
Yeah.
You know what we're not gonna talk about on this trip?
Food?
Bruno.
Yeah, now you ruined my night. Yeah, that's all.
That's all it takes, doesn't it?
That's all it takes, dude. I mean, you know, like every single day the kids, Alexa, play the Encanto soundtrack.
Crazy. I took my hands out of my gloves when we stopped back there, and what, 10, 15 minutes? They're just ice cold. Keep cruising up here. I'll probably check the map, just see how much farther, but I think based off the watch, we should be about another mile to the meadow. And then we'll start probably looking for a place to set up. But with how deep that snow is, I don't think we're gonna make the 5 miles. We originally hoped to get to camp today. I don't know, but we'll keep cutting. Maybe when we get out in the open, the snow won't be as deep and we can cover a few more miles a little bit more quickly, but on we go. Well, we're at the point of the day that it was supposed to be sunny skies, but it's pretty much not stopped snowing on us the whole time. I just checked my watch. We've been hiking for 4 hours and 45 minutes. and we are down to a snail's pace. We take turns breaking trail for 5 minutes at a time, and we're getting maybe 200 yards every 5 minutes at this point. So really, really slow. So part of the allure to hiking Delano was to make it a little bit more difficult. It's you can start at a different trailhead in the summer and get a lot closer and hike up to it, which is kind of funny because this is a peak I've never done. I've hiked about every peak around it, but I've never done it because it's just a little more busy, crowded. So I thought, let's do it in the winter. Let's make it a little harder and going on snowshoes, which I think we honestly still could have done fairly easy before the powder dropped. I think we could be going at least double this pace because there's a pretty hard crust 20 inches down, but careful what you wish for. Oh, there it is. Big John's Flat. Got the camp packed in here. About to pull out the tent, but before I do, it's time to layer up. Fortunately, we caught a little bit of a break here. It's not actively snowing and there's no wind, so I'm gonna take an opportunity to throw on my Dragonwool bottoms. Anytime we come on a trip, typically with me and Brigham, we're doing some R&D and testing some different things. So we've been doing that, but I'm gonna throw on our tried and true stuff here, our insulative layers, make sure that I keep my core temperature up as we start slowing down our activity and as the temperatures start dropping, which you can tell they're dropping. This Ventus got a little bit of moisture in it on the way up.
Yeah.
And it's stiff.
Frozen?
Not frozen, but there's enough of it in there that it's like, it's frozen. I guess. This is colder than the 41 below freezing video, but it's not windy. But I don't know. It feels like the temperature is colder. I wouldn't be surprised right now if we're well below 0 degrees Fahrenheit, knocking on the door of about -5 already. So I don't know. Cannot take my hands out of my gloves very long at all before they just ice up. And you'll see I'm kind of walking in circles because I'm trying to stay warm. So this stick is bigger than my knots and my hands are too cold to tie, so what I'm gonna do, loop this around, tie basically just one overhand knot, hopefully. And then use this stake right here as a toggle. Come through there so that it can't come back out. That's my water situation. Froze up and I'm starting to cramp on that inner thigh muscle. I cramped there a lot on the last trip. It's just such a weird, awkward muscle, I think, for snowshoeing. It's cold, but it's better in here. Holy crap, that is frozen solid. That's no good. My pants are just steaming already, just from barely any heat in there. Oh, yes. Man, now that my lips are dry, or like not so cold. You can feel just how like wind chapped they are. And here is dinner. Got some beef stroganoff, which I am very excited about. I'm really hungry. It's actually 8 o'clock at night already, and I usually eat at like 5, but God, I'm just dripping. Yep, that's Gonzo. You know it's pretty cold out, even in this tent with the heater, when this hat's been in here for a couple of hours, and I still have the snow on it from that hike in. It's pretty cozy in here, but definitely anytime you're around the edges, it's like it doesn't matter. And if this heater at all gets, or if the fire goes out at all, just instantly, boom, heat's gone. May as well be in a tent without a heater. So it's interesting, but one of the nicest things is, you can see here, you can just dry anything out that might have gotten wet, which is just a huge benefit to this type of a system. And you can melt snow. These 2 pieces of wood just drying out, but yeah, it's still freaking cold out there. The overnight low was supposed to be close to negative 15 degrees. I think that's the new lowest temperature that I've ever slept in. Alright, it's finally time. Good old hot chocolate. Well, guys, I just did something incredibly stupid. I was just about to go to bed. I had my pot, I poured my hot water into here, and then I went to turn the flue down and touched my pot on my bag. And of course it melted right through there, so pretty frustrating, but then you repair it. This is my Tenacious Tape repair kit. I've had to use it 2 trips in a row now. Anyways, there you got it. Go to sleep and not have down covering the tent in the morning. We'll see how this goes. So now I'm going to kick that stove on, get it roaring, and then I'll be able to move around the tent and probably get some breakfast and stuff going, so. Just sitting here watching the snow fall off the tent. I guess it was cold enough that it put some snow on the tent. I don't think that's just frost, but if that's frost, that is a thick layer of frost. The carnage from last night. I'm super excited. I'm going to try a new breakfast from Alpenfuel. It's got a lot of calories, 770 in this, and it's only 5.6 ounces. Bought a bunch of these after sampling one. Thought I would give them a shot and see if it might be something we want to put on the membership eventually. Pretty good. Definitely one of the nicest parts about being in here is
being able to put on warm boots in the morning. Done about all the camp chores I can in here. And it's time. Oh, wow. Beautiful. That's Mount Delano. And right now, it's just simply out of reach with this much new fresh snow. We cannot get on top of the snow with our snowshoes. We're basically just trudging. And that 3-mile hike in yesterday was one of the hardest 3-mile hikes I've ever done in my life. So unfortunately, guys, Delano is just not going to be an option this trip, but perhaps we'll come back in the future, because I think if we had done this just last week, we could have blitzed up there with half the amount of effort or less. But that's just kind of the stuff that happens when you come out here into nature, is you can't always plan every aspect. This trip had been planned for almost 2 months, and we couldn't change a lot of it. So Mount Delano will probably be back. And I'm sure we'll be back at some point, but maybe we'll even be back in the snow. So I've been trying these new snowshoes from Compradel. They're carbon fiber and super light. And these cutouts here are supposed to really help with flotation. Yesterday, they did nothing because no snowshoe could have done anything, but it'll be interesting to see it today. Obviously, there's not a massive need for a snowshoe, so they should be really, really quick down the trail, but I'll keep trying them out. I think on other trips, I'll get a much better test, and we'll be able to see how they compare to other snowshoes that I've used. But I will say these are like a neoprene toe cover, and that kept my boots totally dry. And so I didn't even have to really worry about having Gore-Tex in my boots, even though they have a waterproof membrane. It's like another layer, and my feet stayed significantly warmer with those. Absolutely stunning morning. Wake up to this view here. Got a little bit chilly setting up last night, but then after that it was good. I stayed toasty in my bag. How about you, Brigham?
Yeah, I was warm.
Hopefully no more mouse tracks around the truck.
By the way, I'll be doing a full gear loadout on this trip, so be sure to subscribe to catch that one. And if you can't get enough of cold weather trips that don't go quite as planned, check this video out right here. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys on the trail.